The council chamber fell silent as Ambassador Jessica Chen closed the leather-bound folder containing Earth's final testimony. Across the circular table, representatives from 47 alien species waited, their various appendages twitching with anticipation. They expected protests, perhaps threats. They did not expect what came next. "We're done here," Jessica said simply, her voice carrying across the vast chamber with crystalline clarity. Council Chairman Vexthor, a towering Zentari with 6 eyes that blinked in rapid succession, leaned forward. "Ambassador Chen, you cannot simply—" "We can," she interrupted, something the council had never witnessed from a human before. "And we are." Behind her, Captain Jack Morrison stood at attention, his military uniform pristine despite the 3-day journey through the terminus gate. His hand rested near his sidearm, not threateningly, but with the casual confidence of someone who no longer feared consequences. The Galactic Council had summoned humanity to answer for their aggressive expansion and dangerous technological development. For 2 centuries, humans had played by the Council's rules, accepted their quotas, paid their tithes, and watched as other species exploited loopholes that humans were somehow always prevented from using. "You owe the Council 400 billion credits in outstanding trade tariffs," hissed the slick representative, its forked tongue tasting the air for deception. Jessica smiled. It wasn't a pleasant smile. "No, we don't. The debt is legally binding, according to laws we never agreed to," Jack interjected, his voice carrying the weight of Earth's entire military behind it. "Laws you imposed after we'd already established those trade routes." Vexthor's manipulator tendrils writhed in agitation. "The Council's authority is absolute within Council space." "You cannot—" "Council space," Jessica repeated, pulling out a holographic projector. With a flick of her wrist, she displayed the galactic map. Blue regions marked Council territory. Funny thing about that, the map shifted. Hundreds of star systems that had been blue turned green, Earth's color. "What is this?" demanded the Morphean delegate, its gelatinous body quivering. "Independence declarations," Jack said. 63 species signed and sealed over the past solar month. They've all chosen to leave the Council and join the Terran Coalition instead. The chamber erupted in chaos. Delegates screeched, roared, and emitted pheromones of distress in a cacophony of alien panic. Jessica waited for the noise to die down. When it didn't, Jack simply placed his hand on the pommel of his sidearm. The gesture was minimal, but every being in that room understood the human capacity for violence. Silence fell like a guillotine. "Here's what you don't understand," Jessica continued, her tone conversational now, almost friendly. "We didn't come here to argue. We didn't come here to negotiate. We came here as a courtesy, to inform you that humanity is withdrawing from the Galactic Council effective immediately. You'll be destroyed." The Vaxian representative's voice modulator crackled with rage. "The Council has maintained peace for 10,000 years. Without our structure, there will be chaos." "Your peace," Jack said coldly, "built on the backs of species you deemed lesser." "We did the math, Chairman. Over the past 200 years, the Council has extracted 4 times more resources from human colonies than from any other member species. You've blocked our colonization efforts, vetoed our trade agreements, and consistently ruled against us in every arbitration. Because your species is dangerous." Vexthor's composure cracked. "You breed too quickly, innovate too rapidly, and refuse to accept your place in the natural order." Jessica's expression hardened. "There it is. The truth you've hidden behind procedure and bureaucracy. You're not afraid of us being dangerous. You're afraid of us being better." She stood, and Jack moved smoothly to her side. Together, they represented something the Council had never encountered before, a species that simply refused to play. "The Terran Coalition will honor all existing trade agreements made in good faith," Jessica announced, "but we will not pay retroactive tariffs based on laws we never voted for. We will not accept your colonization restrictions, and we will not surrender our sovereignty to a council that views us as a threat to be contained, rather than a partner to be respected. The other species will return to us." The Sislik hissed. "They need the Council's protection." "Protection from what?" Jack asked. "The only threats in this galaxy are Council enforcement fleets terrorizing independent worlds into compliance. Those fleets will find the Terran Coalition considerably less accommodating than isolated planetary governments." Vexthor rose to his full height, his translator emanating a tone of absolute authority. "If you leave, you will be declared enemies of the Council. Our fleets will what?" Jessica's voice cut through the threat like a blade. "Attack us? You have 17 dreadnoughts within 5 jumps of Sol. We have 43 within strike range of every Council core world. Your fleets have been sitting in space dock for generations, maintained by the lowest bidder. Our ships were built by a species that spent 10,000 years perfecting the art of killing each other before we ever reached the stars." The silence that followed was absolute. "You wanted to know why we're dangerous?" Jack's smile was all teeth. "It's not our technology. It's not our breeding rate. It's that we actually mean it when we say no." Jessica picked up her folder, tucking it under her arm with deliberate care. "Humanity is withdrawing from Council space. The 63 species joining us are doing so voluntarily, after centuries of your mismanagement. What you do next is your choice." "You'll regret this," Bexthor whispered. "No," Jessica said, turning toward the exit. "You will. See, you've built an entire civilization on the assumption that everyone needs you. You're about to discover what happens when the ones doing all the actual work decide to leave." Jack opened the massive doors, and together they walked out of the Council chamber. Behind them, chaos erupted once more. But this time, humanity wasn't there to hear it. 3 months later, the Galactic Council collapsed. Without human innovation, human resources, and human enforcement of their own unfair edicts, the bureaucratic empire crumbled under its own weight. The species that had mocked humanity's departure sent desperate messages to the Terran Coalition, begging for admission. Jessica reviewed each application personally. Most were accepted, some were not. After all, humanity had learned an important lesson from the Council. Mercy was a privilege, not a right. And privileges had to be earned.